Evaluate the indefinite integral x over the square root of 1 minus 4x squared dx. Observe that the inner function of the square root is 1 minus 4x squared, whose derivative is negative 8x, which is a constant multiple of x. So we can use u substitution. We let u be only the inner function 1 minus 4x squared. Then du dx is negative 8x. The differential du is therefore negative 8x dx. And we see that we can substitute 1 minus 4x squared with u. But in the numerator we have x dx. If we isolate x dx, then we have x dx equals du over negative 8 or negative 1 over 8 du. And so we can substitute x dx with negative 1 over 8 du. To perform u substitution, we need to substitute every expression we see in the given integral with the new variable. In this case, the new variable of integration will be u. Everything needs to be accounted for. The integral sign is now the integral sign, the fraction bar. The denominator is now the square root of u, because 1 minus 4x squared is u. The numerator is now x dx, and that is the only part that is left after we perform the substitution in the denominator. But x dx can be substituted with negative 1 over 8 du. This integral is now in terms of u only. Negative 1 over 8 is a constant multiple, so we can move it to the front of the integral sign. We end up with 1 over the square root of u du. In order to use the power rule, we would rewrite this as 1 over u to the 1/2, but this is not quite the power form yet. This is negative 1 over 8, the integral of u to the negative 1/2. We bring the expression in the denominator into the numerator and change the power to negative. We can now use the power rule. The negative 1 over 8 is the constant multiple, so we rewrite it. Using the power rule, we add 1 to the power. Negative 1/2 plus 1 is positive 1/2, and multiply the reciprocal of this new power, which is 2 over 1. Don't forget to add a plus c, because this is an indefinite integral. Simplifying this, we have negative 1 over 4 u 1/2 power plus c. But remember that there is no u in the given integral. We would need to perform a back substitution. Negative 1 over 4, and u is 1 minus 4x squared. The power 1/2 is still the 1/2 power plus c, and so we would substitute u with 1 minus 4x squared. This can be rewritten as negative the square root of 1 minus 4x squared over 4 plus c. And this is the answer for the given indefinite integral. How do we know that this is the correct answer? We can take the derivative of this and make sure that it is the integrand x over the square root of 1 minus 4x squared.